Hello and welcome. So today we are doing a reading on what will spring bring for you. We have three different groups here. We have the sun, group 1. We have the binoculars for group 2. We have the snake for group 3. And feel free, you can always pick multiple groups to listen to. There are similarities between some of the groups. You will notice that my nails have changed halfway through because I am recording this in 2 different days. But yeah, we'll take a deep breath together if you need some time to decide which group is calling to you. I'll have the timestamps below. And as always with these readings, have fun. Take what resonates. You get halfway through a reading or towards the end and you're like, I don't feel like this one's for me. Come back to the beginning here. Pick a new one. See if there's any messages that are meant for you in there. Of course, there could be 3 different groups that are all calling to you that have messages for you in each of those. So enjoy these and start your reading. So if you chose the Sun card, group 1, then this reading is yours. Let's see what spring is going to be bringing in for you. So starting off, you have the Sun card, and the quote here is, "Give me the splendid silent sun with all his beams full dazzling." I'll go ahead and just set that here. There we go. I already love that too with like the sun, sunflower energy. Definitely coming off of winter, and of course, depending on where you live, but for most people listening to this, it's probably going to be just coming off of the coldest months where there is the lack of sun, no blooming flowers, kind of this cold, right? And so with that, with the energy too, moving into spring where you do have flowers starting to bloom, a lot of, I would say, like rebirth. You can also think of that within yourself as well. And so we'll start with tarot. I do have some oracle cards that I pulled as well, but we'll start with your tarot cards. So you have the Hanged Man, Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands. This might have to get moved up a little bit. There we go. And then you have Nine of Pentacles. I love this card specifically in this deck too. I love wine, so anything with like looking like a vineyard somewhere, grapes, love it. And so let's see, move these up. There we go. Okay, so for some of you, could be that either presently or coming up, I'm getting this feeling that almost like you're stuck. You've been, yeah, kind of just like this feeling stuck, feeling complacent, or it's not the right word. It'll come to me, and either I'll say it later, or it's going to come to me at like midnight tonight, and I'll be like, oh, that's the word I was thinking of. But really what I do see, and especially too with the Queen of Swords here, almost with these cards, so I almost get this feeling, I mean, even as much as, all this hangman has to do is just let go of the rope and he's free, I almost get this feeling that this queen will cut him down. So almost this, like you got yourself into this, I don't want to say this mess, you got yourself into this place, into where you are in your life, and you can get yourself out of it, is kind of the message that I'm getting with, I mean, specifically too with these cards. But I wouldn't even say necessarily it's like a bad thing, but almost just like you got yourself here, whether that is feeling stuck or to a moment where you're almost like on the edge of something, or exploring something new, wanting to try something new, something different, switching things up maybe, but that you got yourself here. And I see that as a positive thing, especially too with the Ace of Wands, and almost using this like your Queen of Swords energy, that I always like to call it like a badass bitch kind of vibe. But using that energy, kind of that inner power, right? And channeling it towards something coming up this spring, whether that is maybe like a new opportunity comes along and presents itself to you. There is always, I like to think of this card too as like inspiration or a boost, kind of like a boost to your current situation, or in your life, some inspiration coming along. And then definitely too, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is, I mean, specifically for this deck, one of my favorite cards here. But really, I mean, I see like hard work paying off. I think that there is always with like horse grapes, you gotta think like abundance. So definitely spring bringing in some really nice rewards. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily like something that you've been either working towards or that you're going to be starting in spring. Sorry, I'm not sure if you can hear my neighbor. He's working on his lawn right now, so we'll try to quiet that down in the video, but sorry if you can hear that in the background. Try to close the window a little bit more, so hopefully that helps. But yeah, so I think that over these next few months through spring, you're gonna be, that's kind of what I'm getting, is that there is something coming along, or potentially like, a few things, but really there's something coming along that you're going to have to work through, that you're going to have to push through, you're going to have to get through over these next few months. And I almost see this as like you will be the one to get yourself through it. Mainly, of course, always, asks for help when you need it. But I do see that there is almost this, you've put in this work, you have gotten yourself to this point in your life. So based on, your past experiences, your knowledge, listening to yourself and trusting in yourself, but also knowing that whatever this is, you can get yourself out of, you can try new things, work around it. Pushing through something is kind of what I keep getting. But with that too, I really see like this boost, this boost in whatever it is that's coming along for spring. There's something that's going to come and kind of like be like a driving force forward, that's going to bring you, again, like I see through your own hard work, through my neighbor coming back around. But yeah, kind of just pushing yourself through this, working through this to get to this kind of point in your life of this Nine of Pentacles, of having a very abundant and rewarding life. But I do think that whatever this is, it's going to be successful, right? You have, I feel like, the Sun, Sunflower cards, Nine of Pentacles energy is really strong. And with my neighbor, it's too funny. Every single time I'm like, oh, he's done. He revs up the engine. But yeah, so we'll get some oracle cards too that I've pulled set aside. But I really do think that this is going to be whatever this inspiration or maybe new opportunity or what you've been working on currently. Maybe you're feeling a little stuck there. And in spring, you're getting some type of boost that's going to kind of push you through towards the finish line, right? Towards this, I would say, like successful, abundant rewards, this, whatever that end goal is, there's something coming along that's going to give you that boost, that inspiration, that spark, that maybe joy back in your life. Maybe you've been missing some sun and you're just like, my mother up north, they went a few months without the sun, and she's, as soon as it comes back out, she's like, yes, okay, let's go do things. So I think that whatever it is though that's coming along, there's going to be a boost that also kind of brings forth it, maybe like some new opportunities, some new inspirations that maybe cause you to think a different way or approach a situation a different way. But that with this Queen of Swords energy, I think that whatever this is, again, that quote of like, I got myself here, I'll get myself through it, is kind of that message that keeps coming along to me. All right. So then for your oracle cards, we'll start off with Moonology. I always love a good Moonology. and you have first quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. Okay, and that could be what this hurdle, I guess we'll call it, that I'm feeling is. Um, Definitely, maybe even too, that your commitment's being tested, and then this Ace of Wands energy is almost coming through to like make you decide, is whatever this is it worth it? If so, push through it. Or is it potentially going to redirect your focus into something new, into changing something up, trying something differently? I also think that this could be like a reassurance too, that whatever you might have you're working through currently, or maybe something comes along over the next few months, that it's going to give you some reassurance that you can move through this, right? That you're able to push through, recommit yourself, redirect yourself, whatever. It's going to give you, what's the word I'm looking for? Again, it's like the tip of my tongue, when you're like, oh, it's here, and you start trying to do like all of like your workarounds to find it. But that there's going to be some type of, it's not boost, that's not what I'm looking for. It'll come to me, or I'll just like randomly go back and put the words here. And so this is my universal folk oracle. You have harvest. I love that. I try not to look at these cards as I shuffle and pull them out. I just kind of like set them aside. I did peek at the Moonology one because it popped on the other side. And of course, I'm going to look at it then. But love that. I mean, you have abundance right here, right? And so definitely, I think I like patience too. Okay, so you have harvest, you have abundance, gratitude, security, and patience. Definitely love that with abundance. I love the owl here too, of almost that like wise old owl, using kind of your own knowledge, your own wisdom, your own guidance to work through these things. But I also like patience with this card, in that whatever this is that you're working towards, it's not a quick reward. It's not something that you're going to get overnight, or that this project, this opportunity, this spark for spring is going to be work. It is going to be putting in work to then get this abundance, right? And so I definitely think with this patience too, that it's saying, I mean, really, I get with, I feel like anything for like harvesting for this Nine of Pentacles imagery as well, of just, it takes time to grow this. It takes time to yield, I mean, crops, to harvest things, right? Like, it's not an instant thing. So whatever this is, I do think it's a little bit more of a longer term project, whether that's a few months, something you've been working towards for a couple of years. But I do see that it is coming to the end of the cycle over the next few months, over the springtime. It is kind of bringing in that reward for you that you've been working towards. And definitely too, I love, oh yeah, two of these popped out. So this is, oh gosh, what's the name of this? Got this one recently. Oh yeah, the Woodland Wardens cards. I have two of them that came out here. And so you have the vulture and asphodel and chipmunk and laurel. And I love that you have upheaval and success are the main words here for this one. All right, so with these cards, I'll hold them like this, see if that works. I mean, with the vulture, I always think that a lot of times vultures, right, you see them on the side of the road, eating dead animals. So a lot of times associated with death, but I think it's a really nice card to get, especially coming off of the winter month where things do, you kind of think of that as like time where things die off. Spring, a lot of things are being reborn. And I think too, with the vulture specifically, I mean, like, it's a very important part of the ecosystem. So you definitely have that. I'm getting almost whatever this situation is that you have been in, or that you're currently facing, that it's important. It is something that you need to work through. But definitely, when you have the Queen of Swords energy, I'm getting that like you'll be fine. You'll be able to push through whatever this is. You'll be able to work through it. You're strong enough to do it. But I definitely think that whatever this was, it was an important part, an important thing, an important lesson. Whatever this, I don't want to call it a loss or mishap, but whatever, I feel like to someone there was something that happened that maybe at the time didn't seem like it made sense, or you didn't understand the lesson from it. But I definitely see that there was one, and that it's something that you're needing to find within yourself to move forward. But you also have the chipmunk and laurel, and I always think this is one of, I mean, this whole deck, even the vulture, I think looks really cute. I think this deck's just beautiful. But you have success here. And so definitely too, the laurel, was it the crowns that were placed on the Olympians? Okay, yeah. So I just opened the book because I was like, I feel like this is what I was thinking of. So yeah, it says the laurel is a symbol of victory used to crown the winners in the ancient Olympic Games. It says, together they tell us to take charge of our destiny, carve our own path, and find success. Do you always love, ooh, dropping things everywhere. So I'll just put them on top for now. Move these if we need to. But yeah, I definitely think that whatever this was, it happened for a reason. You're strong enough to move through it. You're going to get a boost in the next few months that comes along and kind of pushes you through it, makes you reassess things, recommit to things, and guide you towards this really nice outcome, the successful, abundant, hardworking outcome that you have coming your way. And so the last two ones, this last one is always just like a nice little message. But for my Green Witch Oracle, clarity, that's the word. That's the word that I was thinking. You're going to get clarity in these next few months. Something's coming along and it's going to give you clarity. You're going to have to reassess things, figure things out, but it is going to bring along clarity on something that you've been asking about, working towards, thinking about. There's going to be this boost of clarity, and you're like, oh my goodness, I love. There's like, yes, there we go. That's the word I've been thinking of. I like reading from this book, and then I also love, they have little spells or rituals that you can do, different things with each of these cards, excuse me. So we'll go ahead and I'll get that book for this too. Okay. I also love that it's number one too, right? So this very beginning, along with springtime, new things, that Ace of Wands energy of just new opportunities, some inspiration, some rebirth coming your way. So it says, for this card, it says, new ideas, breakthroughs, and increases in finances and resources are all indicated, and you should trust your own judgment. Love that with your cards, definitely your Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands, I mean, your Nine of Pentacles of abundance, right? Of trusting in yourself, trusting in your inner knowledge. It says there is a strong chance of triumph over a difficult challenge, and the opportunity for sudden growth is what you are currently undertaking. Love that. It also says relationships will be focused on the physical, with lust, sex, and passion high on the agenda. It says be careful of overthinking, self-sabotage, and roadblocks placed by others. So it could also be, I'm kind of getting like this almost like self-sabotage, overthinking almost of Hanged Man, and having to like work through it, rethink certain things. But I definitely see, I mean, your commitment's being tested too. So that could be what that's about as well. Oh, and then I mentioned the little spell that they have. So I'll show you here, but I'll also read it. So it says, clarity spell. This oil will help clear your mind to get to the truth of matters. It will also open your vision during divination and dream work, and when experiencing creative blocks. So it says mix together equal amounts of carrot seed oil and full moon water. Place a dab on your third eye before meditating or working on an issue. for which you are seeking a deeper understanding. So definitely love all the little spells that they have for each card. Oh, I love it. Clarity. Yes, you're getting some boost of clarity. That word. I'm just going to put this right in the middle. And then lastly, too, I have my Secrets of the Garden deck. Just always a cute little message. You have to be present. Use the hours. Don't count them. Put that here. But yeah, I really love, I love this month. It looks like there's going to be some work that you're putting in, some things that you're having to work through to refocus on, but definitely there's some clarity, some inspiration, a boost coming along into your spring, and it is going to bring, really with, I always love this Queen of Swords energy too, of knowing that you can do it. You have, where is it, the owl here, a lot about inner knowledge, inner power, and knowing that you got yourself here, you will get yourself through it, you are strong enough, you deserve it, and that you will reach that end. You will reach that abundance, right? That that success. You will get there. And spring is bringing along a lot of really nice things for you. Oh my goodness, as I drop cards. So yeah, absolutely love your messages here. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, if you picked up on anything different, what resonated with you. And as always, if you got through this and you're like, you know what, doesn't sound right, go back to the beginning, pick a different group, see if another one resonates more with you. And as always, just kind of, yeah, have fun with these. Awesome. See you next time. All right, so if you picked the binoculars or group 2, then this reading's for you. Let's see what spring is bringing for you. So with the binoculars here, let's see your message. See the world. I love this deck. I think it's just so beautiful. All the messages are just so sweet. So go ahead and put that just right there. And then let's see what tarot cards came up for what spring is bringing for you. So we have 8 of Pentacles. Sorry if you can hear my cat scratching at the door trying to get in. You have 6 of Swords, 3 of Cups, the Magician, and 6 of Swords. All right. So I think that there's going to be a transition over the next few months. I think it's not necessarily something that, for some of you, it could be leaving something behind to move forward in pursuit of something else. But I'm also seeing that this feels more like almost like something that you have either been working towards or preparing for and are now ready to take the next step. And kind of working towards something that you've been wanting to accomplish. And I definitely think that, I love the 3 of Cups too. Anytime it comes up, it's one of my favorite cards in tarot. Obviously, if you couldn't tell by the name of this channel, I love the death card so much. And 3 of Cups, though, is probably like a close second to me. So I do think that there's going to be in springtime some type of celebration. Could purely just be unrelated. Maybe there is like a wedding that you'll be going to, or some type of invitation that you're getting, a gathering of friends or families. But also, I think it could be tied into whatever this is that you're working towards. So for some reason, this example just came up in my head. Like maybe you have been preparing to open up your own store, we'll say. And so you've been putting in all this hard work, you've been ready, kind of like preparing to make this jump into opening up your own business. And so it could be that this gathering is a celebration kind of for you and what you have accomplished, or what you're what you've worked through to get to, this point. Definitely think that, your Three of Cups and Six of Wands could be connected in this celebration, and that your accomplishments, your progress that you're taking, that next step, that transition, is a gathering of people or a celebration of sorts. Or even, I say celebration, it could just be you and someone else going out to a bar for a fun night out, or staying in and, like cooking a great dinner and having a glass of wine, or no alcohol at all. If that's your vibe, all for that too. But I definitely think that whatever this is could be tied into what it is that you're moving towards. And I think too that this transition, I mean, really, I think it's something that you've been working towards, you've been either thinking of and have started maybe even like a mental checklist of, okay, if I do want to apply for this job, what steps should I take to start, right? Could even be as simple as that. And then the start of this could be, starting to apply, starting to go through the rounds of interviews, all the fun things that come along with a new job. And I think that with this Magician card too, really what I'm getting is that, like, now you are ready, and that you've put in this hard work. Or maybe, like I said, maybe even this is the start of something and it's going to end up being like hard work. But I love the Eight of Pentacles in that. I find it's always like hard work for a purpose. I'm gonna have to let my cat in a second. But yeah, hard work for a purpose. So either maybe something that you're starting in spring or that you've been working towards and now taking that next step. But whatever that next step, that transition is, I feel like now's the time that you're ready to do it. I think that you're prepared. You have everything that you need to take. I'm gonna go let my cat in. Hold on. Sorry, he likes to jump up on this table, definitely with candles and a reading going on. I try to keep him locked out, but he also gets needy. But yeah, so with spring coming in, actually, it's here right now at the time of this recording. And with the cards, I definitely think that there is some type of transition that you have either been thinking about doing, and now you're finally taking, even if it's the first step towards something new, or you've been putting in that work, you're already working towards this, and now it's finally like that, like, all right, now it's time. Now it's time to pack up and go. We're taking this, we're going, we're doing it. But I do think that, I mean, obviously with Six of Wands, I think that whatever this is, it's something that you're going to be proud of. It's something that others are going to be proud of you for. And not even necessarily, work wise. This could be something to do with within your life. Maybe even it's just taking up a hobby and you find that you really enjoy it. And this is something like, yeah, instead of just doing this once a week, maybe I go now, 4 times a week, and you have like, you develop a great friend group, and it kind of puts your path on like, or your life in a more positive direction. You're leaving something maybe behind that wasn't necessarily making you happy, but you're finding a new path that you're going down that is bringing you that joy, that fulfillment from working hard that you're putting in and accomplishing for yourself. And could be something like that for some of you. I think that whatever this is, though, we'll get some more oracle cards too, and see. But I definitely think that there is some fun transition, and you found something that you want to pursue, you want to explore. I like that too, with see the world, kind of getting out there, maybe trying some new things in springtime. But I think now you're ready for whatever this is. Springtime, you're ready for what this is. You might not have been a few months ago, a year ago, maybe you didn't even know what this was, but you, at this point in life, is when it is a good time to take that next step forward. So we'll get some oracle cards and see what they have to say too. So I have some here from a few different oracle decks. We'll put these aside. We'll start off with our Moonology card, the one that came up. New moon and Capricorn. The hard work is paying off. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. I mean, really, with your Eight of Pentacles, all your cards do. Six of Wands. Definitely think that's a nice accompanying message of whatever this is that you have been working towards, thinking about, preparing for. even if it's something that you potentially don't know about just yet, but in springtime you kind of come along and start this process, it's something that is going to ultimately be successful. This card can also talk about too, bring this up, can talk about a new cycle in work. So again, whether that is potentially starting over somewhere new, or going for a different position within your company, or promotion, or renegotiating your current position, this can talk about a new work cycle as well. But ultimately, really, I think what this is about, going for whatever this is that you want. Like I mentioned, earlier with your cards, I think that whatever this is, that you're ready now, and it's time for you to go for it. It's time for this to happen. And then we do have, what is this one? I love this deck. I don't use it as often as I should. I also love the back for spring, which is why I picked it up. Oh yeah, this is the Universal Folk Oracle deck. And so you have balance and empowerment. Try to hold the cards like this without moving my hands too much, but I talk a lot with my hands often. So your keywords for your empowerment card are expansion, together, prosper, and divine. And then for balance, you have harmony, equilibrium, and centered. And definitely right off the bat, your empowerment card with a line here, it's giving me that strength card energy of, even too with like the magician, almost, in that you are strong enough, you have everything you need to do this. You have a lot of, I feel like, sunflowers, even here too, imagery here of a very, I'm just getting like this like warmth, like you're happy for whatever this next step is. I feel like it's bringing you more happiness, it's bringing you a better balance in your life, that potentially whatever it was that you're, I don't even want to say leaving behind, but moving forward from, I guess we'll say, is that this is going to bring a better balance, a better, I'm just getting like warmth and happiness from this. I think that, sorry about that weird cut. My dog started barking at the door. So I have 2 dogs and a cat, so there's always just chaos happening. But yeah, I really think that whatever this transition is, I'll just put these cards here for now. I can move if we need to. That it's going to bring about a stronger sense in yourself. It's going to have this like pride. That's kind of the word I get to, that you're going to be more proud of whatever it is that you're, even that you're doing, or just how it makes you feel. And then it's going to bring about a better balance, but also potentially too could be a reminder to make sure that you maintain that balance. And that even if, you do get overwhelmed during the process, that you just stay focused on what needs your attention, and then leaving behind whatever you don't at the moment. And for your next oracle card here, we have this is the Woodland Wardens. And so you have the Frog and Lotus Metamorphosis. So yeah, so definitely some type of change, some type of transition. And for some of you, I really see this as being not like a completely new, fresh start. I feel this is more of a natural progression, right? When like tadpole turns into a frog, it's not necessarily that the tadpole is dead, it's just, transformed into this frog. And like a natural growth. I do want to read on this card. This is a newer deck for me, and I always love some of the messages that the authors put in here. So let me find the frog. There. Okay. So it says, this card reminds us that change is natural, rebirth is possible, and a healing balance can be achieved. I love that with your balance card here too. It says, the frog, developing as it does from a tiny tadpole, symbolizes transformation. The lotus flowers too symbolizes rebirth, unfurling even amid murky waters. Going through such a change can be difficult and a struggle, but the resulting metamorphosis opens us to growth, self acceptance, and happiness. Yeah, I definitely see that over spring, whatever this transition, this next step, this exploration is for you, not only are you ready to do it, but that it is going to bring forth this positivity, this happiness, the strength, a better energy. I feel like I'm just getting a kind of this pride is probably the best word that I could get from this. And that people are going to notice it. People are going to be excited for you, whether that is people who are currently in your life or potentially finding a group of people that you are attracting in. But yeah, overall, very exciting springtime for you. I do want to get just a cute little message. This is my Secret Garden affirmation deck. So we'll see, what does spring bring for group 2? Radiance. Keep your head held high and follow the sun. I'm getting that with this. I feel like actually these cards, this message could be for this card as well. I love that. This deck, I always feel like just have really nice positive little messages here, but radiance, keep your head held high and follow the sun. So let me know what you think. Very excited to hear about what spring does end up bringing for you. And if you know what this is, if you don't know what this is, but in a couple months you figure it out, or you have any questions or feedback, always excited to hear from you. This is like the biggest yawn from my dog, which is, I guess, time that I've been in here. I gotta go let him outside. So, hopefully you enjoyed this reading. And again, as always, take what resonates with you. And until next time. All right, so if you chose the snake or group 3, then this reading is for you. So I'll start off with your message. What will spring bring? You have welcome change. Go ahead and put this message. We'll move it right there. We go. And then for your tarot cards, what will spring bring for you? You have 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, and Knight of Wands. So you had 3 knights pop open, and the 2 and 3 of Swords. And I promise I have used this deck mainly as my main tarot deck for like the last month, and I shuffle everything every single time before each group, each reading. So very interesting. Okay, so I definitely think that you have new opportunities coming in that are going to help you through something. So I think, especially with having the 2 and 3 of Swords, so I do think that there has been some type of grief, or I like to call this like the sorrow card, the heartbreak card. And so I'm thinking almost that currently you are guarded at the moment because of something that has happened, or potentially something you don't want to happen, or that may come up. Because especially with the 2 of Swords and the message I'm getting, it's almost like I'm getting like this whole like la la la, I'm not listening. If I don't see it, if I don't think about it, then it won't happen, it won't affect me. I can't, feel this pain. And so yeah, I think that whatever that is, it's not something that you're currently dealing with potentially in the way that you should be. or even dealing with it at all. However, I do think that you have a lot of new things that you're doing in spring. And so you have cups, swords, and wands. The only knight that didn't come up was pentacles. This almost makes me think that this isn't purely work related. Of course, I feel like everything in everyone's life can always be tied into, multiple aspects, but I don't see this as pure only related to, like new opportunities at work, new things. I'm almost thinking for some of you, this could be potentially maybe you went through a heartbreak recently, or some grief that you've been dealing with that's kept you a little guarded, a little, I'm going to say, like, not looking to see what this welcome change here. I almost feel like you're resisting it. I'm getting like some resistance with this Two of Swords. And I feel like with all these Knights cards coming up, it's almost as if for some of you, it's going to be maybe in springtime, you go on a bunch of dates. It's kind of what this is, almost of, and again, if you're in like a stable relationship, then this could also mean potentially maybe things have become a little staler because of past things. You're starting to like overthink things, and spring's going to welcome in opportunities for you to try new things, for like you and your partner to go and maybe like spice up how you do date night, or new opportunities come along that kind of like revitalize things or move things forward from where you're currently at. And again, if you're single, this could potentially just be that in spring you are going to start going on dates or have opportunities come along that start healing. I might pull, I didn't pull any love cards for the other groups, but I might pull one for this one. But yeah, I definitely think that there are going to be, it's going to be you trying new things. Doesn't have to be love related if you're happy with how things are there. I do think that there is something though that you're going to be trying new things and approaching things potentially from a different way. Maybe potentially too getting help or having opportunities presented to you from other people. But yeah, I definitely think that whatever this is, you will be having new things come along in spring to help kind of move through whatever this Three of Swords for you is, right? Because I feel like you're a little bit, I want to say, like resisting a little bit. Yeah, I'm just getting that whole like not listening. Sorry about the weird cut. My dog started barking at the door. I do want to get one more card though on just what these opportunities and what actions you might be taking. A little bit more on that. Oh, okay. Oh, I had to take the one that popped up. Okay, Eight of Wands. All right, so I think that whatever change, whatever opportunities, whatever, we'll call them adventures. I like that with the Knights. Whatever adventures are coming up, it's going to be something that happens quickly. It's going to even potentially, like, it might start happening without you even realizing, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, when where did this come from? How did this happen? Or when did this happen? And almost to like, it could be even I like that saying of like, when it rains it pours, that something's going to come along and then something else and then something else, and you're just going to get exposure to all of these different things, different, we'll just stick with adventures because I like that with the Knights and what I think they're bringing for spring for you. So let's get some oracle cards and see if we can get a little bit more on your springtime. So I definitely think that this group is getting the most cards out of the readings, but we'll start with Moonology. So the card that came out for your spring is Hold Your Vision, Fixed Moon. I'm gonna put this, I never know where to put these. I'll put them here. I think I need like a bigger space. So I do actually want to read from this Moonology deck. That they always have really nice messages and like additional meanings. But I do think that overall, I want to say, especially with Knights, of making sure that you're following through with this, that you're welcoming that change, right? So it says here, it says there are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very differently, interpretation is that something is stuck. I feel that's more of the the meaning for this one. It says that could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great, because if you really want things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. It says, with two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self reflection. It also says some additional meanings for this deck, or this card, excuse me, is staying power, faith, or patience are needed. Someone needs to back down, avoid stagnation, and a personal or professional relationship will be enduring. And then to Attune to the Moon, I also like this too. I love these decks. They're always, or these booklets. It says, yes, just say the word a lot and see how it feels. I almost like that too, of potentially being open to more adventures, right? To more offers and opportunities, potentially help from other people. Maybe it has been a lot about like, no, I've been hurt in the past, so I'm just going to say no and not accept that. But I think saying yes, potentially go back to that like la la la, not listening, not gonna think about it, and then it won't affect me type of situation of like, okay, maybe it is time to think about it so you can move past it, so that you can have all of this change come into your springtime. And then with your Universal Folk Oracle card, we have Uncover, Dowsing Pendulum, Answers, and Integrity. So yeah, I definitely think that it is going to be, excuse me, needing to go out and explore. I'm getting this feeling that there has been some resistance to, we'll just say, to change, to a situation that you need to, I feel like, heal, right? Uncover some things, think about it, do some self-reflection potentially, but then go out and seek the answers, right? Seek things out. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I love the artwork on the cards. Okay, sorry. So next we have, you had a lot of cards, or three cards, I say, out of the Woodland Wardens deck. So you have the Squirrel and Chestnut, you have Preparation, the Fox and Ivy, Adaptability, and the Rooster and Sunflower, Communication. So I definitely think, here, let's see if there's a way I can hold all these cards. I like to talk with my hands, but this will have to do. So I do think that, I mean, roosters I always think of very vocal, right? I also think pretty protective of their area. So maybe there is some protection going on. I always kind of go back to like that 2 and 3 of swords cards, of potentially there is some guarding some things, right? But I'm also getting, I mean, you have the adaptability here with the fox and ivy. So ivy, I feel like it's one of those plants that can grow in really difficult situations. So fox too being very, we'll say, cunning and quick. I'm trying to think of the word that's coming to mind. I just get them like zigzagging. But yeah, so I definitely think that making sure you're open in communication, either to yourself and what you need, what you don't need, but potentially maybe being a little less guarded. I think preparation is really nice with your nights, all of your nights, of making sure that it's not just purely going out and doing, that eventually there is going to be a time where you need to kind of think further ahead, make your plans, hold them, focus on like more of what's coming ahead, but definitely with your 3 night cards, of making sure that you are able to adjust things, because you are gonna definitely have a lot of change and a lot of different opportunities and adventures and way of doing things. And it could be totally like out of your wheelhouse, even of maybe like, wow, these 3 dates that I went on are all very different. These 3 offers that were made to me bring me in totally different directions, or the way I need to approach a situation is kind of causing you to think outside the box and try things from ways that you might not have even thought of before. But definitely stay adaptable, right? And then for your Greenwich Oracle, you have fertility. Now, if you're not trying for babies, don't you freak out. I think that whatever this is, and I do like reading from this booklet as well, since they have little spells that are included, and I think they're so fun. But I definitely think that there's just going to be a lot of growth coming your way. And let me actually pull this open here. There. So it says for this card, it says the nurture of elements around you is highlighted, and watermelon energy shows that you will reap what you have sown. The wisdom of nature is at the forefront, and answers, discoveries, and inspiration will be found there for you. I like that with your uncover card too. You have answers there twice. It says plan well, stick with things, and look after those around you. Challenges may be a failure to connect with others and inauthenticity. And so then here for your card up here, for your fertility spell, it says create and grow anything in your life, including a baby, with this fertility candle. Again, if you're not trying for one, think of this as what you want to have grow within your life, within yourself, non-baby wise. It says scoop out the flesh of a watermelon and make juice or something edible from it. Well, watermelon ice cube just kind of came to my head, and that sounds really refreshing. It says share and consume the flesh, don't waste any of it. Write whatever it is that you want to create and grow on brown paper and place it inside the melon. Put a green candle on top of the melon and light it. Let it burn down completely, and then bury it under a healthy tree. So that seems, I love these things. Sometimes they're really simple. They're like light a candle and put it on a different thing, and then you just let it burn out, and then you're done. And then some are like put it inside a watermelon, bury that melon under a healthy tree that you hopefully have access to. But anyways, these are just for fun, so use that how you will. And oh yeah, I do want to get a love card. All right, so we're using the Whispers of Love. I do just want to get one card for group 3. Okay, interesting. You have be authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. I love that too. Oh gosh, what card was it that talked about problems could be, I think maybe your Green Witch, where it mentioned problems could come from inauthenticity. And so I definitely think with this card, it's important to, and it could be that potentially what this spring is bringing into you is a reminder of, maybe you've fallen into a pattern where you've stopped speaking up about what you truly want or how you're truly feeling, or lost a little bit of yourself and what makes you happy, makes you you. And yeah, I think that it could be almost that you need to take some time, stop hiding those feelings, stop trying to be someone else, potentially for another person, or even just in general of what you think others need from you. And take time to make sure that you are, I mean, I get like being who you are, and kind of get that with the nights of maybe those nights are there to bring about those opportunities for you to explore and get back out to being yourself, a little less carefree. Bright nights fully aren't the most careful plan. They're not, we'll say as developed as kings and queens in their life, and they still have a little bit of that like carefree energy in there. And so it might be time to go back out and use that as an opportunity, and use spring as an opportunity to get back to doing what makes you happy, what makes you feel like you. If you feel like you've lost a little bit of that, definitely think spring's a good time to, you have communication here too. So I think being vocal about that as well, and letting potentially others know, especially if like you're in a relationship or seeking relationships, being potentially a little bit more vocal about what you're looking for, what you like, what you are hoping to maybe change or not repeat. But yeah, I definitely think that spring's going to bring about some fun adventures for you. Definitely some change that you need to welcome in, but it looks like you're going to have to, of course, like work through some stuff, get some answers and cover some things, maybe like work through some grief or some stubbornness, but definitely that quickly things will start happening. You might not even realize it at first, but yeah, really exciting. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, if you have any feedback or comments, you know what this is. If you don't know what this is yet, but maybe down the road you're like, oh my gosh, yes, these things start happening. This is this is why all those nights were there. But yeah, let me know what you thought, and until next time.